Hello and welcome to my World Cup video, day 4 review. Just a quick one today. Father's Day, so out with the kiddies most of the day, so only really got to see the second half of Brazil live. So I've been watching highlights packages and reading stuff most of the day. Just never got an opportunity to do so. So as I say, I didn't get to see the first two games at all and only caught the second half of Brazil live. So we'll just talk very briefly about them, what it means, and that. So first game was Costa Rica and Serbia. Serbia won 1-0. Kolarov got the goal. Great goal, great free kick. I thought Navas was maybe a little bit too far over, but it is what it is. You know, you can't really give too much against it because it was a superb free kick from Kolarov. Put it right in the spot where if you had given him the ball in his hand and told him to put it somewhere, that would have been where he would have picked. So credit to him. It was a great goal. Gives Serbia a great opportunity to progress. A lot of the talk is Milinkovic-Savic played very well. As I say, I only watched the highlights. I've seen a couple of bits that he done, but hopefully I'll get to catch the game and see exactly how well he played and how well he done. So we'll see that at a later date. Costa Rica are probably in trouble now. Switzerland and Brazil still to come. Brazil up next. If they don't beat Brazil or get a draw at least against Brazil, they probably will be out. Yeah, so Brazil would go on to 4 and at least one of Serbia or Switzerland would have to go on to at least 4. So yeah, they need something off Brazil or else they're out. So big pressure on them. Very hard game. Probably not one that they'll get something from. Second game was Germany-Mexico. 1-0 Mexico. Personally, I was delighted to see it. Nothing against Germany or anything. It's just a wee bit of a soft spot for Mexico. Enjoy the way. Passionate football country. One that probably should do better in the grand stage. I think they're the country with the most World Cup appearances without actually winning the tournament. A player I'm very fond of scored the goal, Hirving Lozano. I've wrote a couple of articles about him, and based on what he's been doing at PSV Eindhoven this year, very, very good player. Every time I've seen him, I've been impressed, and I think it's good to see him coming out in the world stage, and it'll do his reputation no harm, and might lead to bigger and better things for the boy. But we'll see what happens, obviously, as time goes. I do have to say, Mesut Ozil for the goal, I was disgusted by him. I'll give him credit for being there. It's not something that, track him back in the way he did. But just how easily he gave up really, really annoyed me. The Lozano comes inside him, cuts inside him, and Ozil kind of sticks a foot out, and I think he probably makes contact with the boy and with Lozano, and he puts his hands up in the air as if to say to the referee there was no contact there, but he completely stops, and it's as if he forgets that the match is still going, and Lozano's got the ball. Everyone else kind of stops around him, and he's able just to take his time, pick out a spot and blast it past Neuer. Where if Ozil keeps going and keeps staying committed to the play for as long as it goes on, plays to the whistle, there's more pressure on the player to score the goal. But he didn't do it. It was disappointing, and Germany's lost. Big pressure on them now. Defending champions, lost their first game, 2 games to come. They probably will. Sweden and South Korea are games that they would expect to win, but then so was probably Mexico. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how much trouble they're in as it goes by. Mario Gomez missed a good chance, which probably should have levelled the game, but didn't score. So beat 1-0, and big chance now for Mexico, which could easily set up Brazil and Germany in the second round, which would be interesting. But speaking of Brazil, then, they were the third and final game. Now, I did get to watch the second half of this game, and obviously in the first half, Coutinho had put Brazil ahead with a superb goal, just a typical Coutinho outside the box, got a bit of space and time, picks out a cracker. You can see all the angles of it. There was a lot of curl on it, and that's what he does. So took the goal brilliantly. Switzerland's equaliser was a foul, in my opinion. I think it was Miranda was the defender, but the goal scorer puts his hands on his back, both hands on his back, and pushes to give himself the yard, and then heads it past the keeper. It was definitely a foul. So I don't really know what the VAR was there. So certainly then in the second half, Brazil obviously were pushing for the goal. They had quite a few opportunities late on in the game. Personally, I'm not really that worried about them. I think they're probably still going to be okay. The group, Serbia and Costa Rica is still in the group, but I think from what I've seen, they still look like a good side. They were lively. They were good on the ball. They were trying things with flicks and tricks and stuff like this, and some of them were coming off, some of them weren't, and they looked just a wee bit rusty to me, which I think is something that'll probably come, with time as the tournament goes on. And I certainly wouldn't be getting concerned if I was a Brazil fan that they've dropped the points there in the opening game. Obviously it adds a little bit of pressure onto the coming games, and it probably means that they'll probably need something from the third game just to guarantee their place, but and therefore they'll not be able to rest players in that third game, but I still think they'll go through. I still think they should be fine. Tomorrow then, so Monday, day 5 of the World Cup, opens with Sweden versus South Korea. I personally think Sweden will be too strong for them. Sweden had a good qualification campaign, come through a difficult group, finished second, and then managed to knock out Italy in the playoffs. So they're no mugs, they're a good side, they don't have Zlatan anymore, and it's arguably one of those things where, everybody then feels like they have to step up a wee bit, and sometimes you get more out of the team whenever you lose your big star. But from so far what I've seen, South Korea obviously come through in Asia. I think they come through the group, possibly, if I'm not mistaken, with Saudi Arabia and Australia, and neither of those two particularly impressed me. So unless obviously they're a massive step ahead of them, I'm not expecting massive things from them. But we'll see tomorrow. But I do think Sweden should be too good and should win the game. Second game tomorrow is Belgium and Panama. Belgium's obviously one of the teams that a lot of people think might win this World Cup. I've already said I think Roberto Martinez isn't the manager to lead them to the World Cup, but they should still be too good for Panama. It's a massive game for Panama. We've already seen Iceland and what Iceland done, but Iceland there's been something with Iceland for a while where they've been working towards this, and it hasn't sort of come out of the blue, whereas Panama hasn't necessarily come out of the blue. Like, they've had a couple of good runs in the Gold Cup, and they were close in 2014 qualification, but I think Iceland is sort of a step above them, and I certainly think that Belgium, with all the talent that they have, should be able to win that game comfortably, which takes me on then to the final game of tomorrow, England and Tunisia. England's another team who, perfectly honest with you, I don't particularly rate them. Some good players, certainly, like the likes of Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, are very good players, but there's a lot of ordinary players in that England squad as well. It's certainly not the sort of England squad that I've been used to in the years gone by, where you had players that were constantly regulars at teams that were making Champions League finals, Champions League semi-finals, and they still weren't able to perform. So to me, if those teams weren't able to perform, I just don't expect anything from this team. I think they're a lot worse than the England teams that have been to tournaments in the past and not necessarily done very well. But I still think Tunisia, they should probably still be too good for Tunisia tomorrow night, but I don't think it's a great England side. But I would take them to win tomorrow. I think that group's probably going to be England and Belgium comfortably beating the other two in the first two games, and then playing out for first and second in the group in the final game. But that's the 3 games tomorrow. Hopefully get to see a bit more action, live action, than I did today. And then obviously then Tuesday, that'll be us worked around. We'll have seen everybody by Tuesday, and the second round of fixtures then I'll be starting them. But it's all coming. It's all something to look forward to. So we'll see how it goes over the next few days. And as always, hopefully you'll enjoy the games, and hopefully you keep commenting and keep following, keep subscribing to the channel. And if there's anything you'd like to see on the channel, anything you'd rather talk about, or questions, anything that you want, feel free to give me a shout down below in the comments. Thank you.